Greetings, it's Vaygrim, back again with another episode. So I've got myself decked out in some obsidian armor to match my obsidian sword and my obsidian paxel. I've got a fully tricked out bow, and I even have wands that I can use. So I'm very happy about this. I made myself a focus pouch. I've got a golden banded greatwood wand. I would like to make one of the higher ups. Oh, by the way. That's right, folks. This evening, we've got something special in store. Now, before we get to that, the main event, as it were, there's something else I would like to actually show you. Some of my progress on Thaumcraft. Well, I've got some goggles of revealing that I've made. And why don't we go over, we can shortcut through the main sphere, and go over to the Mage's Sanctum. I have, as you can see, updated some of the decor a little bit. The roof has now become a garden. I'm using it to farm mana beans. I've been turning this slowly but surely into a magical biome. The only one I haven't gotten to convert is this little strip right here. But all the rest of it is pretty much a little on the edge, but for pretty much the rest of it has turned into a magical forest, which is great because I can use that to harvest mana beans. Now, the rationale behind harvesting mana beans is that a mana bean only has one element, and they come in every single aspect. But they only have one aspect on them, so it's very easy to fine-tune exactly what aspects you're diluting and boiling down for your warded jars. That's an idea that I got from Koryanche on the Resonant Rise server, by the way. So, I have a primitive farm, and we'll see if we can automate it in future episodes. Now, as you can see already, what I've been doing, still have a little bit of cold, by the way, pardon the sniffling every once in a while, is I've got this nice ring set up. I'm going to extend this eventually all the way over to, I think, stop right here, or actually right here so they don't connect. But I've got this giant loop of jars, and I've got one of every kind of aspect. I might do another loop and maybe start spiraling it in. I don't know. We'll see how extreme I get on it. But right now, this is what I've got going. Everything labeled, a little bit of everything. I do still have some aspects I need to go get, but for the most part, I'm doing pretty good, just getting the mana beans and occasionally boiling them down. Got some. This is my input chest for my alchemical furnace right here, using coal blocks. And then I've got some alembics with the fluid being piped out. Now, this is going to be a wand recharging stand. I set that point right there, specifically so I would remember where I wanted to put it. I need to make that, but you have to do that on the infusion altar. So I don't know if I want to do this episode or next. We'll see what we've got time for. Here's what I wanted to really show you, though. Wow. Oh my gosh. That is an aura node. Basically, I got that collection of aura nodes that I had, and I combined it into one massive super node. And this is what we've got. I don't think that was the most productive or smartest thing on the planet, but it's really easy to recharge a wand. And I don't use my wands enough, right now at least, to merit having to constantly go back and recharge it. So this thing actually charges itself pretty okay. It is a pure node. It kept that aspect. So that's really, really good. And I've got some more. As you can see, there's one up there in the forest on the roof that's growing. I think that's about it, but it's a super tiny one. So as I make more, there's two, I think. No, it's just a particle effect. So as I make more, we'll see what kind of trouble we can get into. Now, there's something interesting that I've discovered. I just want to get some of these shards real quick. I don't know if it's heresy to boil these. I gotta turn that off. It's so bright. I don't know if this is heresy or not, but what I'm going to do... Now listen to the noise. I'm hoping you'll be able to hear it. Be real quiet. As it starts piping, is it going to do it? There we go. Is that a daunting noise or what? These pipes, what are they called? Essentia tubes, make some of the scariest plumbing noises I've ever heard. It reminds me of a World War II submarine. Anyway, every once in a while I hear these dreadful groans coming from this system, and it really makes me worry. I haven't made a lot of Ars Magica 2 progress. I do have my spellbook handy, especially for the Wither fight. I need to make another spell, because basically right now, let me see if I can pull it up. Yeah, I have a dig spell, which is touch, and it only does 1 block, so I could burn through a whole mana bar and maybe clear out 10 blocks. Not very useful. I have heal regen, and then I have this one, Crushing Depths, which is drowned and magic damage, and it doesn't do anything. It doesn't kill stuff. I can spam that all day and nothing dies from it, so I just kind of put it over here just to keep it, but really there's no point. So I need to make another combat spell or utility spell, because right now what I've got just isn't getting me levels fast enough. But I'll do that in future episodes. I still have the Dark Nexus over here. I haven't really messed with it much. The placement of that spawner is still a little too close, so it's a little too light in there. I just can't solve that problem. Blocking it off, dark glass, nothing solves it, so I don't know. So we have an infusion altar now, and we've got 8 pedestals around the outside of it, along with the 9th in the middle. We have a good supply, a growing, but good supply of Essentia, and I'll keep stocking up on that. So in future episodes, I think we're going to have to start doing some infusions and making some magic items. That's the big agenda for a future episode. But right now, the big thing I want to do is I want to fight the Wither. Now, I just wanted to update you guys on the AE system. It's been going really good. As you can see, I've been making 1K storage drives. And basically what I've been doing, like this is Ender IO. I can go over here, and you can see that's what I've got set to it. I have a specific set of supplies that make it very easy for me to quickly make Ender IO parts. Cabling, liquid conduits, the works. By the way, there is a big upgrade, 8.0 for Ender IO coming out from Crazy Pants here in the next couple of days. It might have come out already by the time this episode airs. So, excuse me. So 8.0 is going to have some really big updates to Fluiducts, his fluid conduits, and it's going to be real impressive. I think you should keep your eyes out for it. I've got one that's basically just resources, resources 2, resources 3. This one is all wood and different wood types. And then this is just miscellaneous, but it doesn't have anything on it yet, because this has a higher priority. So everything that's not specified goes here, otherwise it goes to a partition drive. And I tell you what, it's working real well. We're barely ticking over at 3 MJ, 3 and change, Minecraft joules per tick. That's Buildcraft power, right there. So that's almost nothing, folks. That's very, very teensy-weensy. I really do wish this could get updated for RF, but I know that's not a lot of RF. That's paltry. Crafty units, I have no idea. So 16, honestly, I'm thinking we could top out at probably closer to 20 or 30 and still really not even dent things. I would like to update. Let's go downstairs real quick. There it is. The reactor is running like a champ. I'll show you. I corrected my settings to what seems to be the defaults that everybody uses. Mine was low. And it is off right now, being drained. I'm going to turn it on, and you'll see tops out at about 2100 total, and it stops at about 500 Celsius, which is right about middle, and that's really good. It runs great, really good fuel efficiency, no complaints. That's basically just a 5x5, and you've got a fuel rod in each of the 4 corners, 3 high, and then the plus in the middle is filled with liquid cryotheum. That's it. That's all, and it runs like a champ. You only lose, by the way, you only lose 5%, 5 or 10%. I think it's about 5% total efficiency if you just leave the inside as air. So you really don't even need the cryotheum, and it'll still clear 1950 RF per tick. That's really impressive. Yeah. So that is running great. Now, I have been assessing the situation over here in the warehouse. We wanted to get this hooked up with storage buses and get it linked up to the main AE system. I did some counting and realized that I'm going to need about 2 stacks of storage buses. I don't know if I have the resources for that yet, but I'm getting there, so bear with me. I don't know if we're going to be able to do that this episode. I might do some of it this episode, and the rest next episode. We'll see. But I would like to at least get started, probably on the barrels. the metal supply barrels and then work from there. So yeah, I think that's going to be real cool. I've also had, before I forget, a request regarding my setup here. Now, these are my 4 machines. Everything comes in to that triple black. Let me see if I can find it right there. No, can't see it. It's basically this one. It's a triple black ender chest. And the logistical sorter pulls out certain things and flags them certain colors. And basically, I have these set in a line. This one is yeah, dark blue input. This one is dark green, dark aqua, and then there's dark red, and then down here on the other end is a white ender chest that is set to yellow. Now that white ender chest is the same one that's over in the sorting warehouse. So anything that goes here is going to get stored and sorted over there. Anything that goes here is going to be reprocessed somehow. So, or will come in through here, and it'll hit this and get purified, which means it comes out as clumps. And the clumps are flagged black. Everything that comes out of here is flagged black. That's what that is. It's hard to read, but it's black. Output, that is very, very important. Another thing that's important, strict input. You want that on. Now, the reason why is because basically if you don't have strict input on, anything that's not dark blue colored that can go in a purifier will start showing up in there. And you don't want just random things getting run through your purifier. So, this one is the same way. It's auto eject, as you can see right here, strict input on, eject black, all of them are the same way. The only difference is the input color. That's the only difference, because that way, you can see right up here, this one is, let's see, ore goes to dark aqua. That's the first one. Certain kinds of ore clumps go to dark green, which is this one. And then dirty dust will go here, which is the crusher. And so on and so forth. I have certain things down here that I've been doing, like this is dark red. I've been making charcoal out of jungle wood. And this is rubber from Mind Factory Reloaded, because we've been using a lot of Mind Factory Reloaded lately. So, that's the basic setup. I have a link that I will put in the description of this video, which goes to my logistical sorter video. It's a mod guide, and what it does is it covers how to make this set up. It's a little bit more of an expanded build. This is more concentrated. It's more compact, but it all works the same. And you can follow that video, and you can see exactly how I got this set up and how everything works. So, let's hope I don't forget that link in the description this time. Somebody remind me if I do. Oh, it's nighttime. I'm going to sleep, and then I'm going to go see if I can find us a good location to fight the Wither. I'll be with you guys shortly. Okay, so we are in the basement, believe it or not, of the old house. If I go up these stairs and go straight around like this, straight around, I say curved, you'll see we're back in the original Home Sweet Home. Well, what I've done is I've turned my old mining setup way back here. This is the original area where I mined. This is Y level 12, as you can see by the map in the top right-hand corner. I've got my branch mining going off that way. The laser is actually straight down this corridor is where it comes down, and which is very, very interesting. I kind of did that by accident. You basically walk right into it. And what I've done, the reason I'm picking down here is because A, I don't care if everything gets destroyed down here. That's important because a wither fight is mass collateral damage, mass landscape damage. Now, you can do it outdoors, but he flies, and you have to hit him with a bow. I've got a bow and I've got a wand, but I'd really rather get it over with quicker because the thing that hits hardest for me is my sword. I've got a lot of enchants on this. Sharpness. Vampirism means I get health back, which is important. I've got my handy-dandy heal spell, but that's only going to hold me out so long. I'm going to have to tap that after he hits me once to make sure I get the regen from it. Otherwise, I'm going to have to duck straight in with my sword. Now, everybody's saying, Vaygrim, this wall isn't going to hold up first shot. No, it's not. it is going to get decimated as soon as he explodes. But it'll deaden the blast a little bit if I duck behind it. And I'm not going to stay directly behind it. I'll be back here. As soon as I put the third head up there, you're going to see a countdown bar across the top that'll start filling up. When that fills up, there's an explosion, and he starts moving. So I want to be away from him when that bar fills up. All of my important stuff is in that chest right there. It might not be far enough away, yeah, but it's okay. He'll be down there, hopefully, the entire time. So if I do end up dying, I've got my bag with all my interesting stuff in it and my Paxil so I can get my grave quick. Hopefully this is going to be one take. We'll see. Be right back on that, I guess. Actually, you know what? I think I'm ready. Let's go. I'm going to just... No. Really good going there. There we go. There's the power up. And there's going to be an explosion as soon as his health reaches maximum. And that is my first Wither fight on this game. That went a lot smoother than I thought he did. He only did minor collateral to the map. And I think that'll do it. We got a pair of division sigils and a nether star. I'm going to have to activate those division sigils, but it's going to lead to very interesting stuff for us. Okay, I'm going to meet you guys back at the base. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have our very first nether star. The fight wasn't very hard, and I'm very, very encouraged. I think what I'm going to do next is maybe see if it's possible, and you'll have to tell me, I don't know, if you can actually capture a wither skeleton in a safari net. If I can, then I can have him spawn in the monster spawners in the actual detention block, and basically I think that would make farming skulls much, much easier. We'll have to experiment with that in the next episode or two and see where it goes. But for now, there's been one thing that I have been craving to make, that I have been wanting ever since I started this series, because there's one thing that I hate. It's losing blocks. Now, this magnet glove is from Dartcraft, and I believe you actually have to infuse it, or fill it up, basically, with liquid force. We're going to do that right here. And basically what it does is you turn it on and off, and it automatically makes sure you don't drop anything. It has a very, very wide range, and it's very, very cool. So I've been wanting something like this for a while. As soon as I started the Resonant Rise server, I got spoiled very, very quickly, specifically because it's easy. They have Xenos Reliquary, a mod that actually has something that's basically a coin. And that coin can be turned on or off, the coin of fortune, I believe it is. And it is an item magnet. It makes sure you don't lose anything, you don't drop stuff. It sucks items into you from a good distance. So you'll see, I can turn this on, shift right click, it's on right now, and if I say, I can try, and they're hovering around me. Let me see if I can do this and yeah, see? The magnet makes sure that those things don't get dropped on the ground. Instead, they pop back into my inventory. So it's very weird, but it's very, very useful. Specifically because there's been numerous times while I've been building on the outside of this actual structure that we call home, and I've lost materials down into the water, and I have to go down and get them and come back up. Now, if it's something like stone, I just say, to heck with it. But if it's like the silverwood planks, or maybe even some of the redwood, this redwood is all from the old map before I had to correct the world gen issues in earlier episodes. So I haven't even found a redwood forest in this new map now. I've been going through backstock, and I need to find a new one. So technically speaking, I have a limited supply of this stuff, and I don't want it to go very far. Another perfect example is recently I had to make extra paving stones of warding, because I've been growing these larger trees. Whoops. And see, I need to turn it off at certain points. Here, you can have that, sir. the broom, my arcane broom, would go over the edge, and as you can see, it just stopped right here because it can't get past this warding wall that I've set up all the way around it. I've been running these bigger trees, and they'll drop saplings. It'll see it, go over the edge, and try and chase it. So I lost about 4 brooms in 30 minutes because I didn't figure it out fast enough. So as I was doing this, there's several instances where I was accidentally dropping bricks or dropping warding stones because I had to move something. That was a pain in the butt. So we now have an item magnet that will prevent us from having that problem again, and we can go back, maybe in the next few episodes, if I can get skulls fast enough, we could go back and actually get another nether star, make ourselves a nice beacon, and set it right here on top, pointing straight up into the sky. And I think what I'll do is, you know, I told you guys I wanted to make a smaller sphere here on top that kind of merged into the top of this one. I wanted to make it kind of my personal living quarters. Well, I'll just make a glass dome all the way across the top of that. And I believe that means that the actual beam for the beacon will go straight through that glass. We'll experiment, we'll see how it works, but I'm pretty optimistic. You see, though, once you get the right kind of gear, I've been armored up. It took me a while to get the right levels to enchant this again, because I don't have access to easy levels and easy enchanting like I do on the Resonant Rise server. So I've been having to do it the kind of the hard way. I have a meager supply of mana beans, essence berries, but even those only go so far, and I'm trying not to squander them. So it's been going. It was hard for me to get all this set up, but you know, now that we're prepared for wither fights, it's easier to do. I just wanted to update you guys on the actual cow farm. I've got a dimensional transceiver right here that's piping all of the essence from this over into the detention block, and it's working like a charm. I tell you what, Crazy Pants and his inventions really do seem to work right. We've got a windmill, a wind turbine out here that pipes power to this. This has power coming into it from that wind turbine, and it pipes it over there. I don't think I need power in both locations, but I'm actually tempted to remove the wind turbine from the back of the cow farm, put it out here with this one, and just power everything through this at the cow farm. I think that can really work. Right now, we're filling up really, really good. We've got 55 buckets of mob essence, and that is me even turning the system on every once in a while. You hear we still have that skeleton spawner in there right there, but I have added a second spawner in here, which you'll be very, very excited about. I think you can see it right there next to the light. And it takes it a minute to wind up, but we actually now have Endermen. Die. I command it. Thank you. So, the setup is actually coming out quite nice. I'm thinking about adding maybe even a couple of more and moving those lights to the sides. But we have a supply, a renewable resource of Endermen, of Ender Pearls now, along with blaze rods, bones, and yeah, it's expanding out quite nicely. I'm going to try and see if I can find some slimes next. That'd be really, really good to get some slime balls, because I do not have an endless supply of those right now. I only have some substitutes from some other mods. Oh, the breeding system up here that was suggested by you guys, the Sigil of Progeny by Ars Magica, is working great, and I also have a vacuum hopper in there that's pulling in experience, as you can see, liquid experience. So I think the next trick, I'm going to see if I can get a pipe pulling out of this from Ender.io and piping it into the rest of that system so we can harness that somehow. We'll have to see how that goes. But I think the next project we want to look at, do we want to do some applied energistics, or do I want to see if I can do some infusions? So, it has been a number of hours since last we spoke. I have been very busy, actually. Let me show you from this end. I've been very, very busy on that applied energistics system. You'll see right here, I have a dark cable, all right, that connects to a line that runs. Can I even show you? Runs right up there. So what we do is basically, whoa, okay. That's it right there. It runs over into the inventory, the warehouse. And in the warehouse, it comes in right there. Straight shot over and up. So basically what happens now is I am slowly adding storage buses to all of these. I've got all of here, all of the far side. I got a little bit more than half done here, and I still have to do all these chests and barrels, but it's getting there. I think I saw some stray Here we go. I'm still knocking bits of this out. So I think the only thing that I'm seeing as a complication is that I got all of these transfer pipes that I originally made that I don't need anymore. So I'm going to have to find some other projects to use those on. But it's very, very nice. If you'll notice, I can flip that. It thinks for a minute. We're using only 3.2 millijoule Minecraft joules per tick. That's Buildcraft power, only 3.2 MJ per tick. If I flip this on, I get access to everything so far that I've added, which is 8,000 redstone, nether rack, all sorts of crazy stuff. Power goes up to about 15 ME though, 14 and change. That's honestly still not that bad in the grand scheme of things. That does mean that we should probably, if we're going to be away from the base for prolonged periods, we should probably just flip that off and save ourselves some fuel. Otherwise, we're going to be fuel hunting pretty regularly for yellorium raw ingots for our reactor. But I guess there's worse problems to have in life. I'm actually surprised it stopped at only 14. So now I've still got some more here that I want to do. I've been trying to get the barrels done, specifically because it's so useful. I've got so much stuff in barrels that I just need big volumes of sand or cobblestone or wood or whatever. Now, there is something that I would like to ask advice from you, the viewers. That is specifically... Let me see if I can... We can do that. Okay, I've been doing this to configure what this barrel is holding, right? Do I need to be adjusting this? Should I be raising this priority for this item? Because right now it's at 1. So, I'm not sure what I should be doing there. I've never really had to mess with priorities. So I would love to hear from you guys. I'd love for you to tell me, do you use the priority system heavily? Do you think it's a big deal, or do I just need to not worry about it? Because if there is some specific benefit that I gain from that organizationally, like with these chests, maybe it's more important to have the chests higher in a priority, or maybe the barrels should be higher than the chests. Either way, I would love to hear your opinions on this stuff, because I really have never had to mess with priorities before. Most of the times that I've actually used ME drives, it's just, applied energistics, it's been purely ME drives and barrels. I usually don't do chests, and I only have stuff in one place. Well, now I kind of have some stuff in multiple places, because I have some drives in the main sphere. But I also have some of the stuff that's on the drives here in barrels. So I'm a little lost on that point right there. Yeah. I'm just putting these on. It looks like I'm going to have to make another set. And I can tell you right now, we're running low on resources for some of the specific things. So, yeah. Oh, I also wanted to let you guys know. I always got to remember, turn off my magnet when I'm passing the farm. Otherwise, my broom spazzes out. Cow farm, going good. You see the experience I'm getting up there? I got some of the wheat from our farm over there and put it in there. And boy, howdy, they gave it a kickstart. I stood in here for a little while and built up some fluid up to about 60 millibuckets, 60,000 MB, 60 buckets worth. And then I turned on the system after I went with a safari net back to the nether and got myself wither skeletons. So I've got a wither skeleton in there now, along with the Enderman. I put the blaze spawner back in, along with the skeleton spawner. So we have skeletons, wither skeletons, blazes, and Enderman right now. The only problem is with the wither skeleton, and I'll actually show you guys. When you do wither skeletons, it just shows up as skeleton. Oh, that's Enderman. Exact copy, no. But skeleton. And you get normal skeletons. If I set this to no, I get a normal skeleton, bow and arrow, that kind of stuff. I have to set it to yes, exact copy, in order to get a wither skeleton. And I get the exact one that I captured. The problem is that takes a lot of juice when I do that, and a lot of power. So just turning it on for a little while can really drain. But I've already gotten, in just a couple of hours of on, off, I've already gotten 2 wither skulls. Whoopsie. Give me that back. No. I will lock that again. I already have, somewhere around here, oh, I put him in the main sphere. The Endermen have already dropped an Enderman trophy for me. Where'd I put the little bugger? There he is. There's going to be the fun part, right? Enderman trophy. You right-click this and get randomly teleported one direction. A certain number of blocks. Yeah. Sometimes it's not far. Whoa. Okay, that could be dangerous if I didn't have flight. Yeah. So, things are going really good up there. I've been checking on the trees. I think most of the silver woods are grown in. I'm going to harvest them all over again, get whatever nodes we've got, and then restart the whole process. But I think pretty much everything over there is a magical forest. Now what I want to do is, let me turn that on. Whoopsie. I'll learn the hard way. You got to do these by hand sometimes. And what I'm going to do, so I can get myself some real good essentia of a wide variety, I'm just gonna plant these back. And I'm gonna do, let's see, you. And I don't have any more there in place yet. So I got a little bit more. And this thing, I think I want to put a growth sigil on there, because it does work on plants, as we've seen over there. So if I put it on there, I think it might help the mana beans. I'm not sure. But we can use that to get our stock of essentia up, so we can start doing some really cool stuff with the infusion altar. I'm very psyched about that. Yeah. Okay, so I think next episode we're going to try and do our first infusion. I would really love to get a portable hole focus for my wand. I remember the old school portable hole. It was just the thing you held. It wasn't on your wand. And I'm real interested in getting that again, because it's very convenient for getting around. I'd also like to go back to the Twilight Forest and tackle some of the bad guys that kicked us around a little bit. You guys have been giving me some tips about how to handle the Lich and how to handle some of the other monsters in there. I'd really like to do that again. I also want to see if I can find a maze in the Twilight Forest, because I'd like to use the digital miner to get some maze stone. I think that could be very, very cool. So, I think this is going to be a really good wrap-up point. I always enjoy you guys swinging by, joining me for some adventures and some building. I think we've made some really good, solid progress this evening. We've fleshed out the AE system, and by next episode, I'll have the whole warehouse hooked up, and I'll have it on a cutoff switch. So, now, we'll have a low power mode that we can go into when we go on long trips, or when we're just not using the system. I think that's going to be a big priority for between now and then. I think next episode, I also want to get some wireless service and a handheld unit for the AE system, so I can access whatever I need to, wherever I need to, around the base. I think I'll probably put it down here, just under the elevator, so it's central, and it'll cover as much as possible of the sphere and just outside the sphere. I'm not sure how much the range on those things cover anymore, but I think it should be pretty good. So, thanks again for joining me. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your time, and I know you could be doing other things with your time, but you choose to spend it with me. And I very much respect that and thank you for that. Keep the likes and the comments coming. I would really love to hear. Do you guys have more projects that you'd like to see me tackle with the mods I've got in this pack? I know that one thing I would love to do is start expanding more on the automated farms and on the livestock. That's one thing I'd really love to do. I know that very soon I want to have an automated sheep tower, multiple levels, kind of like this, but even higher. And I want to divide it up 2 different colors of sheep per floor, 8 floors. And we can put a veterinary station on each floor, or I think it's a rancher. I think it's a rancher that'll automatically harvest their wool and pipe it into the system. That way we'll have a nice, plentiful supply of multicolored wool, and we can do whatever we want to with it and go absolutely crazy. I think that's it for now. So, thanks again. This is Vaygrim, signing off. Bye-bye.